I'll be with the race team working for them. Live from the heart of California, we race from IRWINDALE Speedway for race number 5 of the Misfit Touring Series Season 2 presented by V-Speed. My name is Scott Shive and we are joined by Sky Shrek and our executive producer, Eddie Smith. Well, we are glad to have Eddie here in the booth with us tonight. Sadly, we wish it was under better circumstances. Our regular producer, DJ Lion, is currently in the hospital with a severe eye infection, so we wish him all the best of healing and the best of luck as he is battling that. So we are excited to be here at IRWINDALE, the only track that we will visit twice this season. There's the inner and the outer, Sky, and today we're running the inner.
Yeah, we can take you through some track facts here as we get you a view on IRWINDALE Speedway coming up here soon. Gonna zoom down in here on IRWINDALE, California, where this track is located. Here, IRWINDALE Speedway opened in 1999, closing this year, only about a month or so. We're running the inner layout today. It's only about 1/3 of a mile long, and the banking's progressive, so it's about 6 degrees on the inside, 12 degrees up by the wall. That, with the short length of this racetrack and the pretty flat nature, is going to make it a really interesting one for the late models here.
Yeah, the Misfit Touring Series just ran their touring mod race, and Kyle Adams said it was a real good one, so we're expecting some real heat to come here at the IRWINDALE Inner, as you can see on the track layout there. 1/3 of a mile, like you said, Sky. I think that is the shortest track that we go to all year. The only track that's shorter than that I know is Slinger, and we're not going there this year as we'll look at our track schedule again. This is week number 5. Next week we'll head to New Hampshire, Then the week after that, New Smyrna, and then right there before Christmas will be at Southern National. So we got a lot of stuff going on, and one thing that I want to mention is the Rudolph 250 that's coming up here on December 20th. Same time as always broadcasting. That'll be the night before our Southern National race, just like the Gobbler was last Friday. So it's an exciting time here. We got week after week racing action. So if you're missing anything from racing being over in the real world or things like that, well, we got it going on every Saturday night here on V-Speed with the Misfit Touring Series. So we got our points. Turzak, win number 3 last week. Three out of 4 races he has won. Justin Brooks, the only other winner here this season. And it's just really impressive, Sky, the talent of Kyle Turzak.
He's really just been able to run away with these races. He's been out front consistently every race, even in the one he didn't win. He's always got a ton of speed, always up there fighting. But some other cars are starting to close the gap. See Justin Crowe there in second, Jake Sylvia in third, even Michael Wiseman fourth, Evan Hassler, all guys who've had some really good runs this year and are starting to close that gap to Kyle Turzak at the top of the standings.
Yeah, Turzak really running away with it. Justin Crowe has had some great finishes, like you said. So Kyle Turzak not out of it yet. I mean, I would say Justin Crowe has been very quiet, and he's ready to get the win. Like we said last week, that 86 car is really looking towards a good win here. Jake Sylvia starting hopefully up front tonight. He's starting 6th. At least he'll have to go to the heat races. But before that, we're going to send you trackside for the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Well, with qualifying completed, that sets up the qualifying grid for our first heat. On pole for heat number 1 will be the 24 of Kyle Adams, just missed out of the transfer spot by 1 position. Then on his outside will be the 1 of Jake Sylvia. John Leday in the 22 qualifies 3rd here for the heat race. And then Corey Bodie will be in the 44 car in 4th. 5th will be the 86 of Justin Crowe, 2nd in points. Right on his outside will be that 55 of Tyler Muller. Bradley Stefane's had some incidents in the past, hoping to keep it clean here today at IRWINDALE Inner. He'll grid up 7th. 8th will be that 71 of Dylan Calabro, Jared Schell, and Anthony Angello round out your top 10 here. I think that'll be all we have.
Yeah, I was going to say, we're only going to run 1 heat tonight. Only about 15 drivers in the field. Top 5 go straight to the feature. Everybody else going to go through this heat race. Basically going to be treated as a bit of a qualifying race here for what's coming up later on.
Yeah, I think we're going to have 10 cars here, just enough for the 1 heat race, like you said. It's going to be 10 laps, so really, really short with only, I think it's a 15-second lap, even though it's only a 1/3 of a mile track. It's very flat because, like you said, it's progressive banking 6 to 9 to 12. but you can see it right here. The rubber is all on that bottom line, Sky. That's where all those guys are running.
Yeah, that's going to be the preferred line for sure. I think the outsides, I mean, it's banked a little more, but I don't think it's going to be any faster. These cars are going to want to get to the bottom, and they're going to maybe be moving some people out of the way to get there if they can't make the pass.
Yeah, I don't think this is one of those tracks where the high line really develops as a line that you can really bring the fight to guys that might be on the bottom, but we're just going to have to see. I don't think we'll have long enough here to be able to see in the race. Like we said, my name is Scott Shive. We got Sky Shrek here in the booth, and we're so glad to have Eddie Smith. I know we missed DJ, but Eddie Smith is another one of the best here in production. So we're about to get these cars rolling. I see Kyle Adams, Jake Sylvia inching forward there. And Jake Sylvia's got a new paint scheme this week. I'm quite loving the red.
I like that one as well. It's a kind of red and white style car. DriverTees.com, our replay sponsor there on the side. Definitely one of the better looking cars in this field. There are a lot of great looking cars out here, though.
Yeah, John Leday's got a new paint scheme this week. He had the Hendrick car scheme the other week, but this week I think he's running, I think that's Apex on his hood of that number 22 late model machine. Then Corey Bodie there is the 44 on his outside. So we're pacing away. 10 laps here, like we said in the heat races. You'll see we got a driver cam for Corey. And love the driver cams. Hopefully more drivers as the season goes on will join our driver cams because we love to see them in the action that they're putting in behind the wheel in the sim. So Kyle Adams is your control car here. His lights are off on the pace car. We head down the back stretch. And again, these cars can drift out really as far as they want on these front and back straightaways. No real out of bounds. But we'll just have to see how they do it. What's the best line? And Kyle Adams is going to tell us here from the drop of the green. Here we go. Heat race number 1 from IRWINDALE.
Already contact down into turn 1. Kyle Adams jumping to the inside of Jake Sylvia there in the 1 car. They're going to beat and bang into 1. It'll be a little cleaner into 3. Adams has the run on the inside while Sylvia's has to go a little higher. He'll try to send up to the inside, but he's under threat from John Leday behind him. A top 2 cars starting to get away for now.
Yeah, I don't think at this track you're ever not turning down on this course. Corey Bodie, oh, caution! Wreck in the backfield.
Yeah, John Leday got spun around there further back. He was racing for about 3rd or 4th at the time.
Yeah, we were just about to talk about him, where he was running there, battling on the inside of Corey Bodie and caused an issue there. Again, that's the black and what is it? I think chrome, gold, bronze color car there in the 22. That's Justin Crow in the 86 right behind him. So we're looking there. Corey Bodie. Oh, looks like John Leday just charged the inside of the corner. Didn't have enough room.
Yeah, maybe just got a little bit loose there on the DriverTees.com replay. Not entirely sure if there was some contact from behind there, but one way or another, he ended up around.
Oh, I think it was.
Yeah, a little bit of contact there on the outside from, I believe that is Bradley Stefane up there.
Look, I think it was Muller because he got the EOL for the caution. So I think
yes, it was Muller.
It's so close. You see, look, and this is on board with the 55 here going into turn 3. That's John Leday right on the left, and oh, he just jumps up and oh, just the tiniest bit of contact. And Sky, this track is so flat, even though it does have that banking. It's so easy to get loose because you're so on the edge with the car.
It's very flat and it's very unforgiving. We've seen cars get loose pretty much everywhere we've gone this season. This is going to be one of the best examples of that. These cars, especially later in the run on the worn tires in the feature, are going to be sliding all over the place down into the corners.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see how the tires will wear out and what our lap times will be looking like there. So then we've got the pace lights off the pace car. And we're going to be green here, coming to 4 to go at the line. Green flag. Kyle Adams, a great jump here into turn 1.
Way ahead of Sylvia down there. Already Stefane around in the back.
Oh, let's see if that brings out a caution. We're still green right now. I don't think it's going to bring out that caution. We're still green again. Stefane way back there, but again, almost battled for the lead. Jake Sylvia tries to dive it down on the inside, but just doesn't have enough. Coming here to 2 laps to go. Here coming to the line. Kyle Adams still out front. Jake Sylvia right behind.
And they've got to deal with Corey Bodie, who's back there in 3rd. He's going to want to make a move if he can get up to that bumper as Sylvia. Don't be surprised if you see one of these drivers in this line trying to move another out of the way to get the spot. We're going to take the white flag now. As we come around, it's Kyle Adams who's going to take it.
Yeah, Kyle Adams right now still down the back stretch. He's looking good. Sylvia, nothing to give to him, dives down to the bottom, but nothing doing. Kyle Adams wins heat number 1.
He'll get it done over Jake Sylvia, Corey Body, Dylan Calabro got up to 4th. Tyler Muller finishes 5th.
That'll set them up for where they will start within our race. I believe we are skipping the consolation races and we'll go straight to the feature. We'll have to check with our producer, Eddie Smith, on that one just to make sure I'm correct there. But wow, that was some nice action there. Looks like it might be harder to pass once you get out front there, Sky.
Yeah, we saw Kyle Adams got away and Sylvia just didn't have anything for him. Not a lot of passing past those initial starts, which means these restarts are going to be crucial to getting those positions tonight and making your way up to the field.
I'd have to agree with you. We're going to see how the tires will wear down because it might be about how you save your stuff tonight. That might allow you to make the pass later on in the run. We're just going to have to see. We're going to get our starting grid here for the feature race. Jake Griffin, newcomer to the series this week here for race number 5. Well, he took the pole in the number 3 car. Christian Peterson in the 171 on that outside of the front row. Seen him up front a lot, Sky. He's probably looking for the win here today because he's been battling up front all season long. Michael Weissman in the 74 will grid up 3rd. Right on his outside will be the 115 of Kyle Turzak. Evan Hassler rounded out the top 5 in qualifying in that 38 car. Kyle Adams just won this heat, and they'll go in the order that they just finished. Sylvia in 7th, Corey Body in 8th. 9th will be Dylan Calabro, and Tyler Muller will round out your top 10 in the 55 car.
Rounding out your grid tonight, Jared Shell will start 11th, Bradley Safane in the 89 in 12th. On the 7th row, it'll be John Leday in the 22 and 13th, and Justin Crow in the 86 and 14th. And last car on the grid tonight will be Anthony Yankello in the 79.
Might be one of the lowest starting spots for that 86 car. Gonna have to look. I don't think he has finished outside of the top 10 in any race that we've had so far, and that is why he's second in points. He's been challenging for race wins. He challenged for the race win at 5 Flags against Justin Brooks. Came up 4th there at that race, but man, he has been fighting at the top. And like we said when we looked up the grid, another driver been fighting at the top, Christian Peterson.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if this is the race where we finally see him take that step up onto the top step of the podium. He's been 2nd, he's been 3rd, he's been really close a bunch of times. This might be his chance to finally get it done.
Yeah, he'll have 100 laps to be able to do it. Pit road speed is 30 miles per hour, and the pit road is not on the inside of the track at this place for the inner. It's on the outside, so it's a weird pit road to be entering, and hopefully drivers have practiced it. They'll have 2 tire sets available. We'll probably see a lot of these guys pit at the halfway mark, but again, we saw a lot of weird tire strategy last week and the week before at 5 Flags, so we'll just have to see. 2 green-white checker temps are available. These drivers will have 100% fuel, and like it is every week, open setups. Some of these guys get the Fusion setup shop, some with RKN setups, and we're thankful to both of those partners here at Misfits, and we're thankful to Misfit Production here for the Misfit Touring Series. So, 100 laps. That's a lot of time, Scott.
And it looks like we're doing a bit of an invert here post-race. We're getting the field sorted out. Dylan Calabro is on the inside of the front row.
Okay.
Corey Body is to his outside. Kyle Adams and Jake Sylvia up there in row 2. As we're doing a little bit of an invert here.
For this week, I didn't know if we were going to have one. Adams didn't really say anything about it at first. But yeah, we got a little bit of an invert going on. So like you said, Dylan Calabro will be leading this field to the green flag here as they pace away. There's that green flag. Calabro makes the jump. We're green here for the feature race at IRWINDALE Speedway.
Body actually got a pretty good jump to the outside. It'll be on that top down into 3 and 4. If he can get a run here and get clear of Calabro, he'll be in a really good spot, but he can't quite do it because of how dominant that inside is. Still side by side, neither driver able to get an advantage as they're looking 3 wide behind him for a second there.
Man, Body is abusing that right rear on the exit. I wonder how long he can keep this up, but right now, 2 by 2, riding here for the top spot. Calabro gets loose out of turn 2, but they're still side by side, him and Body in the 44 car on the outside. Riding behind, that's the 38 of Hassler watching along.
We took it on board. Oh, there's contact between those top 2. Hassler getting closer. was going to say, we saw a little bit of an onboard with Body during the heat race. We saw just how loose that car was. He was steering it all the way to the right down the straightaway. He's going to be using those tires up, and you know he's going to be struggling as we go further into this run because of the fight he's putting up on Calibro. Caution is out further back.
Wow, I think Body was ahead there on the outside when the caution came out. But man, they're both lucky for that caution, because I think you said it just right, Sky. They were absolutely working their tires there in just those first 6 laps. We'll take the drivertees.com replay. It looked like Kyle Adams went up and over. Him and Weissman went at it here in the bottom of turn 4. It looks like they had an issue. Gonna have to see what caused that. Them two fighting. Adams crosses over to the inside. Oh yeah. Bradley Stefane piles in. Justin Crow. Not exactly sure what all caused that down there in turn 3, but Kyle Adams was given the EOL. We'll take another look here with the driver cam. Oh, who was that in front there?
It was the 74 of Wiseman that he made contact with there.
It was Wiseman, but there was someone in front of them that got Wiseman sideways. I'm not quite sure who it was yet.
That would be Tyler Muller who was in front of that.
Oh, it is Muller, because Bergey's not in our field tonight. So yeah, it was Tyler Muller that actually got Weissman sideways there, and then Kyle Adams had nowhere to go.
A lot of contact between those two cars, major damage for Kyle Adams, getting a pretty good amount of air off the nose of Bradley Stefane.
Yeah, he did, and Kyle Adams, driver from Beloit, Wisconsin, owner of Misfit Productions and Hot Shot Photography there. I think he would have wanted someone from his team of Hot Shot Photography in the sim if they could, getting that car almost upside down. As he was there, I know Adams, the driver, wouldn't have wanted to be upside down there, but he'll take the EOL for that incident, and he'll be at the back of the field. Right now, I think he has scored 2 laps down trying to fix damage.
Yeah, Adams and Stefane have both gone 2 down. Meanwhile, Michael Wiseman, first driver to take his 1 faster pair for this race, is still on the lead lap in 13th.
Yeah, I think Corey Bodie had the lead at the drop, at the caution, as we go green here, completing lap number 9 into lap 10. I think he chose the outside. He was the control car, and now the race leader gets away. Now Kyle Terzak battles for a second on the outside of Calibro.
Terzak's already got it back up here. He started back in row 3 after the invert, back in 6th position, already got it up to 3rd. Now he's fighting with Hassler, who started back there on the same row as him, 2 cars, using that invert and moving through the field early in this race.
Hassler and Terzak, 2 extremely strong drivers. Now Terzak dives it down on the bottom here in turn 3. Hassler sideways off the corner. They're side by side. Now Hassler's going to let him go. Knows that Terzak might be faster at this stage. We're single filed out for the first 4 cars. Then back there, it was for the first while now. It's the first 8, 9. We're all single filed out.
Tyler Muller's already up to 5th. He started behind the invert in 10th tonight. Big moves to the field for him, +5 in these first 13 laps. He'll set his sights on Hassler and Terzak. A little bit of contact there on the inside from Jake Griffin, and they're getting sideways, both out of the corner and into the corner. These cars are all over each other for 5th.
Griffin is absolutely sending it down into the bottom of the corner, not really caring if he uses Muller as a clutch there. Then up front of them, Calibro has got moved to the outside here. Terzak trying to move up into 2nd. Hassler's trying to follow him through. So we got some great battles here all over the racetrack right now.
Yeah, still side by side for 2nd. Body's gotten away, and it's Terzak and Calibro. Terzak's got the move on the inside, and with how hard Calibro is pushing his tires in the early stretch of this race, wouldn't surprise me if now that he's been shoved up to that outside, he starts to lose a little time, getting passed by Terzak, now getting passed by Hassler, and Jake Griffin's there on the inside to follow Hassler through for 4th.
Yeah, Griffin started back there in around 7th, so he's moved up as well. So him, Hassler, and Terzak have all been moving. Meanwhile, Calibro has dropped from 1st and now down to 5th. Jake Sylvia now on his inside might drop down to 6th.
Cars 2 through 4, there are all drivers who were in those top 5 qualifying positions that got sent outside of the top 5 with the invert and have already worked their way back up there. The only driver who really took advantage of that invert and has stayed in position is Corey Body. 3 wide mid-pack, big checkup for Dylan Calibro there. Somehow we all got it worked out back there for 4th.
And Griffin was working to the inside of Hassler, moved him up. That allowed Jake Sylvia to make it 3 wide on the bottom, easily moves past Griffin, and now fights to the inside of Hassler. And then behind them, Tyler Muller trying to move Pat Calabro as he continues to fall through the field. But again, here, Sylvia trying to move up into third on Evan Hassler. He will. Griffin trying to follow him through in turn 1.
He dropped back to 5th, has already gotten back up to 3rd. That 38 of Hassler has been trying to get down. He will now. He was just barely prevented from getting down last time. Had to run the outside through there. Jake Griffin, big contact into the side of Jake Sylvia. They'll stay side by side. That 3 car is trying to push through the field here and get back to the lead.
And newcomer Griffin is not afraid to put the bumper to you and get around you. Now Hassler's back on the inside of Sylvia. These top 5 are here and amazing. Meanwhile, Corey Body is out to almost a second lead, but these 3rd through 5th position cars, Hassler, Griffin, and Sylvia, are dicing it out.
And the more these guys take turns going side by side, the more Body and Terzak are able to get away and extend that gap. It's about 7/10 from Body to Terzak and another 7/10 from Terzak to Griffin. Sylvia still on the inside of Hassler now, and he'll complete that pass. Hassler will go for the crossover, and now he's going to be on the inside for 4th down into 3 and 4.
My gosh, they're just not giving up here as we come to complete lap number 26. This is awesome.
They're still going there. Side by side further back, that's Crow and Peterson for 7th. Battles all over the track here. Terzak's still 2nd, but these cars side by side are actually getting a little closer, or are falling a little away from Griffin. They're getting closer to Tyler Muller behind him. A little bit loose back there for Crow, you see on the inside.
Yeah, these cars, 5th or 4th through 7th here, are in a tight pack. It's Christian Peterson trying to move up as he was near the back. Oh, Hassler is sideways, loses the position back to Sylvia.
Still going at it. They're starting to get a little single file with the exception of that battle back there for about 10th position there with Stefane, or not Stefane, my bad, that's Crow on the inside, Muller on the outside. Outside of that battle, we're finally starting to get single file on the racetrack right now. I would not be surprised if Hassler has something for Sylvia coming up, though.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either. Hassler has been a great drive there. Them have been passing each other back and forth. Looking up here to Terzak, again, car in 2nd. Jake Griffin, I think, has been gaining on him just a little bit. Meanwhile, Corey Body continues to hold an 1/8 of a gap lead. So impressive from a driver that we haven't seen here before. And another thing to note, he's also working as our race control.
He is as well, and caution is out further back. I believe Tyler Muller's involved in that. Yes, he is.
I didn't know if we were going to see one. We're having some amazing green flag runs there, but Tyler Muller, driver of the 55 car, involved here in an incident. We'll have to see what happened. Fighting with Calabro. I believe this was back for the 9th position, them two battling against each other. Muller on the inside, giving each other a little bit of tag. Oh, right rear from the driver of the 71.
Maybe a little bit of anger there on the DriverTees.com replay, sending Tyler Muller around. Didn't tap the outside wall, which is good. I doubt that car's got any real damage on it, but not a nice spin because he's going to have to drop it to the back.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine the 71 just frustrated that he's been falling through the field. Hasn't had enough to give the fight to anybody with, I think, using it up earlier. And so when the 55 was trying to go to the inside, maybe the 55 drove it a little. But I think the 71 wasn't going to stop turning left there.
No, and I believe Calabro is going to claim that caution. He's running at the back here.
He was.
So he will start this in 13th. Muller currently scored 10th ahead of Shell and Yankello back there.
Yeah, so Kyle Adams got the free pass, so he's only 1 lap down now. Stefane still 2 laps down, and the rest of our drivers on the lead lap. So Corey Body has led all but 6 laps here tonight. But right behind him, he's got Terzak, Griffin, Sylvia, and Hassler, and Peterson, and Crow. I mean, the 6 cars behind him are some of the top drivers here in Season 2 with the Misfit Touring Series. So Bodie has been impressive here so far, but he's got a long way to go here with 64 laps left to go.
Yeah, you mentioned Peterson. I think he hasn't been moving up through the field as much as we thought he would. Started out in 8th with that invert. He was running there for most of that run, snuck up to 6th with that accident. we're choosing right now, and you see Body goes right back to the top for this restart.
Yeah, Body chose the top the last time he was the control car, got away well, but I gotta wonder how well he's gonna be able to get away with Terzak now being on his inside lane. Again, it is great to be the control car. You choose when to go, but having Terzak on my inside, I would be nervous no matter what.
Yes, those cars up front there, first couple rows, Body and Sylvia took the outside. Then there was a pretty big gap. Crow is lined up on the outside, and I believe Michael Wiseman is lined up on the outside. Every other car in the field tonight chose the inside, so we've only got 4 cars there up on the top as we go back green. Corey Body away into turn 1.
Body there away, got a great jump like we talked about. Terzak files into second. Meanwhile, Jake Griffin inside of Sylvia. Big door contact there through turn 4 again. Griffin not afraid to give it to you. Then behind him, that's Hassler on the inside of Crow. I think Crow made up 7 positions there by choosing the outside. So he went from 14th at the start of this race now to being in 6th.
These restarts are so important, and you're seeing how aggressive these cars are trying to get position. Hassler working there on the inside of Jake Sylvia, trying to move himself up into 4th. Also behind them is going to be Christian Peterson and getting around Justin Crow. They'll all get back in line, but Sylvia immediately tries to get the crossover going to take 4th back away from Hassler.
Yeah, Peterson qualified second as Sylvia will back out of that, let Hassler have it there in 4th. Peterson getting a run here out of turn 4. He'll dive it down to the inside. Now he's on the inside of Sylvia, trying to break into the top 5 for the first time tonight.
A contact there between those 2 cars, as we've seen a lot of times tonight. Door banging into the corners, out of the corners, all over the corners. These cars have been getting together. This battle between Sylvia and Peterson, no different. Peterson will back out, immediately tries the crossover, and a little bit more contact to get him up the inside for 5th.
Man, Sylvia tried the crossover last time, then Peterson threw it. Now here's Sylvia throwing the crossover yet again, and Peterson setting up another. But no, Sylvia will brake check him as to not give him the run, and that'll give Sylvia the inside here yet again. That was like 3 crossovers in a row, them trying to go back and forth with each other. Now Peterson trying to set it up here again on the exit of turn 2.
Side is just a preferred line. You can't really make any passes on the outside. You've seen that already in this race. We're getting to about halfway through. These drivers know they have to be on the inside, and they know they've got to be able to send it up on the inside of the corner like Peterson's doing right there. He's going to move Sylvia out of the way if it means he can take the spot. Battle for the lead. Terzak up the inside of Corey Body.
Terzak finally gets around Body, and Body's lead will come to an end. Griffin trying to get it back now on the inside. Again, he qualified fastest, but he was down on the invert. He'll move up to 2nd now for the first time today. Body back to 3rd. That's the lowest he's been all day. And Hassler now trying to run through on the bottom to make it up to 3rd.
The outside lane just doesn't work here. Body gets pushed to the outside once, and suddenly he's dropping 3 positions. Terzak, Griffin, and it looks like Hassler are all going to be able to get around him here. Once you get stuck on that top, if you can't get down, you are going to drop some spots.
Yeah, I'm not surprised to see Terzak at the lead at all, but whoa, huge battle there. Jake Griffin is absolutely on the bumper. I mean, Terzak threw a block all the way to the bottom, and he is sideways out of turn 2. This is some excellent racing. Jake Griffin, number 3 car, down to the bottom, throws the slider, doors into 4. Here to come to complete lap 50. We are officially halfway. New leader, Jake Griffin, but Terzak gonna throw the crossover here down the back straightaway. This is back and forth, Sky.
Griffin, Terzak go, and he tried to get back up the inside there, but he wasn't able to make it happen. Hassler might start trying to take some lessons here from these 2 going at it to try to get her up the inside of Griffin if he's not careful in this fight with Terzak. Griffin will stay a little bit behind there, but he's closing in again down the straightaway. Will he try something to the inside this time? No. Griffin maybe a little faster right now. You'll see it here. He'll try to peek up the inside. Can't quite get it. Terzak still holds the lead for now.
Oh my gosh, this is excellent. Griffin now has a door on the corner there, slides it in, bangs the door yet again, but won't carry the momentum out of turn 2. Terzak still holds it, but Griffin showing why he qualified fastest, because he might be able to bring the fight here to that driver of the 115. Meanwhile, like you said, Hassler still lurking there in 3rd position, looks to the inside here, but won't take the run. He's waiting for one of these 2 drivers to make a mistake.
for him because it means he doesn't have to get that bumper out like we've seen Griffin do. He can just wait his time, and then he can make a move up the inside once Griffin has a bad corner. They're all going to try to send it on the inside of each other here. That's going to result in Griffin going up the racetrack. Hassler will get the nose in, but he can't make any time. Griffin stays second for now, but Terzak's got a bit of a gap.
The Hassler gave Griffin the bumper there, had him on the inside, but didn't do anything for him. Gave Terzak a little bit of a gap, but now you'll see Griffin starting to close it down yet again, and Corey Body is back now on the bumper of Hassler, so it's a 4-car battle here for the lead. This is great racing. Terzak still up front, Griffin second, Hassler third.
Griffin's already got that gap down a lot. He's getting a much better run off the corners. He's running onto the apron a little bit to try to get the run down the straightaways. Seeing it here, he's just running lower, and he's going to put the nose to the bumper at Terzak to get himself some space up the inside. Can't quite make it happen. Now he'll try to go side by side, and he'll move Terzak all the way up the racetrack to do it. He'll stay on his door down into 3 and 4, all over each other as we hit the start-finish line on lap 62.
Golly, Griffin is not afraid to get the elbows out. He'll finally take the lead yet again. Terzak trying to find something to bring back to him, but won't throw the crossover. Not enough able. Griffin to the lead here in the middle of lap 62. But Terzak, I don't think he's done.
These two are starting to get away a little bit from Hassler and Bodie. They can focus on each other and not what's going on behind them. Big hit for Terzak. Sends Griffin around. Caution is out.
Wow. I think that's going to give the EOL to Terzak.
I think it will.
Oh my goodness. Here with a caution at lap number 63, this race has been changed. Looking at our drivertees.com replay, this is on board with Kyle Terzak. Gets on the rear bumper here of Jake Griffin into turn number 3, and that turns him around in the middle of the corner, causes the caution.
Been trying to move each other for a while. It was full contact racing, beating and banging, and that is the end result. 3-car Jake Griffin sideways out of 4.
Wow. I really didn't want that racing to end right there. I mean, it was so good between those top two, Griffin and Terzak. I was loving seeing it. Looking here right now, what's going to happen here with the cause of the caution? I think Jake Sylvia has actually been running our, race production tonight here with our, what's the word I'm looking for? Race control. There we go. Those are the words I'm looking for. That number 1 in the RKM setup shop and drivertees.com car. This is Jake Griffin, current leader of the race. Again, we're going to have to see what the cause is. That's Griffin in the pits. He's going to get tires here.
I believe he will, yeah. I mean, he spun out there, so he definitely has a little bit of damage from that.
I forgot that this is the pits because I see the racetrack sky, and I'm like, oh, they're still on the track. Nope, that's pit road.
Running a kind of, we mentioned slinger earlier, a little bit of a slinger style there, pits on the outside of the racetrack in what is
even I forgot.
In what is the Irwindale Outer Circuit, which we will be racing on later this season.
Yeah, we'll be racing back over there in February, but right now that part of the racetrack is relegated to pit road. So I don't think anyone has been given the EOL for that. Which means, I believe, if no one claims the EOL, I believe that goes to race control for a decision to be made post-race. So Terzak will be staying at the front. Meanwhile, Griffin came into the pits. He'll line up 12th with brand new tires. Only one ahead of him will be Sylvia with new tires. And back a while ago, Dylan Calabro finally pitted. He's on 33-lap-old tires as compared to everyone else, 68-lap-old tires.
John Leday also made a pit stop there back in 13, so he will be on new tires. Jake Griffin, not sure if it was intentional or not, but he did use his faster pair on that pit stop.
Yeah, I don't think anyone really has anything to worry about with damage. So, might have accidentally forgotten to uncheck the box, but I don't think he had too much damage. I wouldn't be surprised if he had some right front damage from all the times he's been using it, trying to get on the inside of drivers. We're learning here tonight in his first race that he is not afraid to get his elbows out and fight for it. As we're green here to complete lap number 69. Kyle Terzak, your leader yet again. Corey Body on the inside. Evan Hassler, then Christian Peterson.
Big send for Hassler to get third. He'll try to get down to the inside, but Peterson will make a look inside. Caution is back out, further back.
Yeah, it looked like it was involved with the 79 of Yankello running a new paint scheme this week as well. Normally we see him in the yellow. But we'll look at our drivertees.com replay. Oh, looks like Jake Sylvia and him just weren't really getting along there. I don't think Sylvia did any of that intentionally. Yankello slowed through the center, and I don't think Sylvia expected it.
Yeah, Sylvia has claimed the caution there. We see it on our drivertees.com replay. Just gets into the back of Yankello there on the restart, sends him around, and he will go back to 13th here when we get back going.
Yeah, I think Sylvia might not have expected how good his tires would rotate the corner there. And Yankello not on fresh tires, so he's still not having the grip that other drivers do. So Terzak still in first. That'll move Bodie up to second. Hassler in third. Christian Peterson now up to fourth. So I know Peterson was fast, but watching Terzak, I don't know if anyone can get by Terzak except for that 3 car of Jake Griffin. And he got up to 8th there. He started 11th after pitting, so he made 3 spots on that quick little 2-corner bout.
Well, Justin Crowe is going to try. He just became the next car to pit for fresh tires on lap 73 of this race. He'll have fresh rubber on for the last 27 laps. We'll see if that makes a difference and if he can get back to the field here.
Yeah, I saw drivers recently that had those old tires. So again, most cars have not pitted yet in this race. And most of them last time around were running a 14.3. And our best laps earlier at the beginning of this race was a 13.8. So only 5/10 of fall off. And so that relegates these cars that are up front that have not pitted are able to survive out here with only 25 to go, probably 24 to go when we take the green.
Yeah, first car on fresh tires will be Jake Griffin. He is running 8th. Everyone ahead of him all on the same tires that they started the race with. We're going to choose right now. Terzak will go straight back down to the bottom, and he'll be the control car on the inside.
Yeah, Calabro starting in 7th, right on the outside, what will be the inside of Jake Griffin. He's actually on 40-lap-old tires. Remember, he used them up earlier, and I guess he had to pit, and I'm not surprised by that. So Terzak again on the inside, Hassler on the outside. Corey Bodie jumps into second here. Here to complete lap 75, 26 to go.
Good jump for Bodie to get second there and get the spot over Hassler. Peterson, Muller still side by side back there. Can Bodie get the lead back? We saw him lead a large chunk of the early section of this race. He's going to try to take first position back, lead some more laps, maybe win the race here tonight.
Yeah, Bodie, another newcomer tonight. We did not expect him to be fast. We thought he was going to be our race control tonight, but he is running some absolute zingers of a time. But that's not enough for Terzak, at least at this moment. Again, all these drivers up front on old tires as Bodie gets sideways there in turn 3. Doesn't open the door for Hassler, though, but it does open up the lead for Terzak.
He got a little loose, and he's lucky that Hassler wasn't able to jump to the inside, take advantage of that, and send him up top, because if he got sent to the outside, that would have been the worst-case scenario. He would have lost all kinds of positions. We're single-filed out here. Would not be surprised if we start seeing some bumps, some contacts, some sends here soon from cars trying to make it go with 20 to go. Already going side-by-side further back, and Bodie's up the racetrack back to 4th.
It looked like Bodie just went all the way to the top there in turn 1. He wasn't loose or anything. Looks like he chose to be up there. Not sure why. He falls back to 4th. Allows Hassler and Peterson to get around him. Peterson now up to 3rd here. Highest running position all day long as we've got 18 laps to go. Caution is out. That's Tyler Muller, and I think that's Anthony Yankello. Oh, that's Dylan Calabro.
Yeah, they were 3 wide back there. They were trying to wreck for a while, beating and banging off each other. We'll see it on the drivertees.com replay. There was a lot of contact. Oh. Big send for Tyler Muller into that corner, and that is what sent Calabro around. Contact with a couple other cars as well.
Yeah, he almost made it stick, Sky. It was really close. He was close to making it work. Who was that driver there on the inside? I can't quite see. Is that John Leday? No, that's Jake Griffin there on the inside. That's Jake Griffin there on the inside of Calabro when Muller threw it into turn 3 and got into the left rear of Calabro, spinning them both around. I believe Muller will probably accept the caution here. Yeah, he will be given the EOL, so he will be sent back to the back of our lead lap cars. Again, Adams, great job here, went down 2 laps earlier. He is back up in 9th. Justin Crowe sitting in 8th. And Jake Sylvia, after pitting, is up to 7th. And guess what? Jake Griffin in that 3 car, who has fresh tires, he's up to 5th.
A hole in the nose for Kyle Adams there, but I think a lot of cars probably got some dents around the front end of that race car, given the racing we've seen today. Yeah, there's gonna be some holes in the nose throughout the field here. A lot of body repair damage on the front parts of those cars after the race.
Golly, I mean, good thing we're at the shortest track we go to all season, because that is an absolute parachute of a nose there on the 24 car. I'd also say that Terzak, his rear front splitter is not sealing to the track at all. So we've got a lot of different damages out here for all these leaders, but I'm interested to see how Jake Griffin will be able to handle the rest of this race. Again, he's on, what is it? I'm going to say 66 lap fresher tires than all 4 cars in front of him. So will he be able to use those Sky? Will he have long enough to be able to get to the front with Terzak? Because when we take the green, we're only going to have 13 to go.
Yeah, we'll see how it works for Terzak. I think if anybody is going to stop him, it will be Griffin. We're going to go green with only a few laps to go. Griffin is in 5th. He'll need to make a move quickly, but as you said, on those fresh tires, he is the best shot to make a move on Terzak, get the lead of this race. Pace car is going to be pulling off here, and with 13 to go, Kyle Terzak will lead us back to green. Great jump for him and Hassler.
Yeah, Terzak, great jump. Like you said, Hassler now on the inside of the 171 of Peterson. Then Jake Sylvia gets in front there of Jake Griffin and Corey Body on the outside.
It was a massive send for Sylvia into 1 and 2 on the restart. These restarts are where you get the moves done. Sylvia knows that, and he's trying to go. Another one of those cars on fresh tires around Griffin, now trying to work on Body. He's the highest up car on that new rubber. 11 to go. Let's see what he can do.
That might have been the move of the race for Sylvia. Now he's up to 4th, fighting on the outside. That's Body. Then in front of them, that's Christian Peterson, Evan Hassler, and again, your leader of Terzak. But again, he's only got 9 laps to get back to the front, and he's got 3 cars ahead of him.
He'll need the best drivers in the series, too. Terzak trying to get his 4th win of the year. Hassler trying to contend with him up there. And Christian Peterson, who we haven't talked about too much today, had a bit of a quieter day, but he's worked his way up onto the podium here late in this race, and he's trying to hold on to 3rd to get himself a good finish. Sylvia trying to disrupt that.
Yeah, qualified 2nd fastest for Peterson, but only in 3rd right now. Jake Griffin now on the inside of Body, trying to make it up into the top 5. Meanwhile, Hassler has been closing the gap just a little bit between him and Terzak. He's only got 6 laps left to do it, but he's getting closer, Sky.
He was about 4th, or about half a tenth faster last time around. We'll see what he is this time around compared to Kyle Terzak in front of him. Equal lap times for those 2 cars. They are really, really close together, and they're going at it. Almost identical laps from both of these drivers. Hassler might need to just send it, put the bumper to him if he wants to get something done here.
Coming down to 6 to go. Hassler is still right there, and Peterson waiting for one of the 2 to make a mistake. Terzak is going to have to be perfect here for these last 5 laps if he wants to get his 4th win.
Will stay close in 2nd. Peterson and Sylvia still there. Fastest lap last time around was Christian Peterson in 3rd. He might have something for Hassler at the end of this race if Hassler doesn't have anything for Terzak. He will this time. He'll take a peek to the inside. Hassler up the inside of Kyle Terzak. He'll slide him high off the corner. Going back down into turn 3 will stay side by side for the win of the race.
Here we go, coming to 2 to go, and we're side by side. 38 of Hassler on the inside of the 115 of Terzak. There's contact there in turn 1 and 2, but they're still side by side here in 3 and 4. Terzak on the outside trying to give it all he can. White flag here out at Irwindale Inner. What does Hassler have? They're both side by side. Will Peterson be able to... Oh my goodness, Hassler has it out front. They bang doors. Peterson moves to 2nd. 38 of Hassler takes the win.
Good. A fit, and Christian Peterson, or Kyle Terzak, gets turned after the line into the fence. What a finish. Evan Hassler gets it done. 1st win of the season for him. He led one lap, and it was the last one.
Oh my goodness, I was so excited there. If you couldn't tell, I did not expect Terzak to get sideways like that. Hassler gave it everything he had in that Fury 38 car, and what a race. Like you said, led one lap, but it was the most important one. Evan Hassler burns it down here on the front stretch. And great props to Christian Peterson, a second place finish.
He very nearly got it there. Tried to move him out of the way to get it done. Just couldn't quite get himself to the lead.
Yeah, we'll take a replay here. DriverTees.com replay of those last two laps. That's Hassler on the inside, Terzak on the outside, and Peterson lurking in the right side wings. Terzak gets a great run here, coming to 1 to go, but right here between turn 2, gets absolutely sideways. Hassler pushes it up. That allows Peterson to get to the inside. Wasn't able to have enough for Hassler, but moves Terzak up, and he moves into second, coming to the checkered.
I mean, what a run for him. What a run for Hassler. Terzak just couldn't quite get it done. He led so much of that race, led almost the entire second half of it, but came up a little short there on the white flag.
Yeah, we're going to wait for some of these drivers to get into our transfer to talk to them. But before then, we're going to get to our race results. So first win of the season for the 38 of Hassler. Peterson comes up one spot short yet again in that 171. Kyle Terzak, three-time winner here, couldn't quite get it done today. Jake Griffin put on some fresh tires, couldn't quite get up to the front, as well as Jake Sylvia. Justin Crowe comes up 6th in the 86 car. Corey Bodie had a great bout up front for the first half of this race, but ends up 7th. Michael Weissman in the 74 car comes up 8th, and John Leday rounds it out for a top 10, with Tyler Muller as well coming in that 10th and final position.
Last 5 on the field tonight. Kyle Adams in the 24 finishes 11th, Dylan Calabro in the 71 in 12th. A couple cars involved in an accident, same with Anthony Ankello back there in the 79 and 13th. Bradley Stefane and Jared Shell both one lap down, finished 14th and 15th tonight.
Yeah, I can't explain how good of a race this was, and we'll get to talk about it all here in our post-race. But firstly, we're going to get Evan Hassler in here. Evan, you got me?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Man, what a race win. You led one lap, but it was the most important lap. Talk to me about what you were thinking there on that final restart. Everything you were going to have to give it to Terzak. We saw you lurking in the wings, waiting to pick your moment.
Yeah, I was just trying to save all the way till the end. This track's really tricky with come in, get tight, and snap center. That's what I did in the modifieds, and I just burnt my right rear off. So I tried not to do that all race, and it worked. And then that last restart, my car was feeling great, especially with the heat cycles. It was keep my tires pretty cool, and I just waited for him to mess up. He was slipping and sliding through the center, so I just dove under him and made it work.
Yeah, that was an extremely impressive move. We saw you gaining just little by little. Once you were on the inside there, coming to 3 to go, what was your mindset? Because you know the 115, he's going to get some excellent momentum out of the corners there, is Terzak. What are you thinking about as to make the pass there in those last 3 laps?
Well, the biggest thing, I was just trying to keep it clean because we're teammates on RKM. And I didn't want to, screw him and send him to the rear or whatever, or shuffle him back. I just wanted to race him clean. And I don't know, the biggest thing was just getting the bite off the bottom. You kind of roll through and hit it hard, and it just takes off, So that was the biggest thing I was trying to do. And we were both getting loose, and I think that was helping me the most just because of the shorter way around the track.
Yeah, you said it, both getting loose there. Like you said, it would snap the center. I was noticing that all race long. And what a win today. I'm not surprised by it at all. Got to watch you some through the back half of season 1, as well as the Triple Crown and Summer Series, and know that your caliber of a driver and that you are extremely talented. What does it feel like to get this win here tonight?
It's pretty cool. I've come up short in a lot of these, and I made a lot of mistakes in these. I'm usually up there in times and everything with being, one of the faster cars, but I can never seal the deal, so this one was pretty cool.
Yeah, excellent. Driver from Colgate, Wisconsin. Before I let you go, Evan, anyone you'd like to thank tonight?
Ryan Kuhn at RKM Setup Shop. He builds the best setups. Just everyone on the team and Sticky Racing.
Hey, we'll tell Ryan to get back in here for some races. We'd love to see him yet again. Go celebrate, Evan. Congratulations.
Will do. Thank you, guys.
Well, that was race winner Evan Hassler in that 38 car. And meanwhile, Christian Peterson is with Sky Shrek.
Hey, Christian, you got a copy?
Either.
Talk to us about that last 10 laps there, that final restart. You were running third, but at the end, you managed to sneak through into second.
Yeah, I was hoping. I don't know. I felt like I had the speed to get up there and pass them, but I don't know. I just couldn't. I couldn't get the drive off there the last couple of restarts. I don't know. Their tires got back under them with the yellows there at the end, but I was hoping Evan was going to get to him and give me a shot at the win, and it almost did. I just didn't want to stuff it in there and get into Evan's left rear. He made a nice move, and I was just trying to capitalize on it. But happy with second.
Yeah, you made a little bit of contact with them there. We saw a lot of contact all race. Cars dooring each other, moving each other up the track. Feels different than the first couple races we've seen. A lot more contact. How does that make this race different?
I think it's just a product of the track. You know what I mean? You get a bunch of guys that are pretty quick, or around the same pace, and one gets a run, and then just give and take. But there's not a lot of give and take. I thought it was honestly pretty clean up front for the most part, and um, just sucks what happened there with Jake and Kyle. But I know they were racing hard for the lead, and like I said, I think it's just a product of the track at the end of the day.
We raced at the inner configuration today. We're racing at the outer one later in the season. Anything you might have gained from today that you can take to that race?
No, definitely not. Definitely not. Big sliders next week, maybe. We'll see. I don't know.
All right. You have anyone you want to thank or shout out on the broadcast tonight?
Yeah, just to everybody at Skyline, everybody at MRL. You guys have been pretty awesome. So everybody raced against tonight. I know we had a small field, but I thought it was a good race up front, and yeah, that's about it.
All right. Congrats on P2, Christian Peterson.
Thanks, bud.
And while we were talking to him, Scott has caught back up with our third place finisher tonight, Kyle Turzak.
Yeah, Kyle, normally when I'm talking to you, it's for first, but it's for third tonight. And that was an absolutely excellent battle. Excuse me. Had to cough there. An excellent battle that we got to see between you, Evan Hassler, and Christian Peterson there. Talk to me about those last 10 laps and what your car was working with.
Yeah, just fighting loose. This 100 laps on a set of tires here is basically a cheese. The tires are basically a cheese grater here. So, yeah, we just, we were really good there at the beginning. I was saving tires and got around Corey, and then whatever Jake wanted to do, I guess he wanted to do. But those last 10 laps was just a dogfight, and I felt like I could have had it, but we both got loose in turn one, and then he slid up into me, and that's what caused me to get wrecking loose. So congrats to Evan. It was a good race, but this one won't be forget.
Yeah, I know. It was a great battle from you. You talked about that battle with Jake Griffin. Talk to me about that and the battle between you. There's a lot of contact.
Yeah, I mean, I was just in riding, and it's lap 40, and he's bumping me, and like, what are we doing here? So I don't know what his deal is. He came back through the field wrecking people and stuff. Maybe it's just a him deal. I don't know, but he needs to figure it out, or else I'm gonna figure it out for him.
And there we go. Hey, that's all you gotta do. You looked at it. Before we had that last caution, I was getting ready, thinking of my call for the last lap of a driver for 4 wins. I don't doubt that we'll see it here with your strength, but how crushing is it tonight to come up with just short?
I mean, not terrible. I'm just here for points, It's just it sucks that I couldn't get a 4th win tonight, but we take this into, I don't even know what track, but
New Hampshire.
New Hampshire. Whoa, drafting track.
How do you feel about that one?
It's gonna be whoever has the most draft on the last lap. That's what New Hampshire is. That's what we did in the tour mod a couple weeks ago with the tour mods. But yeah, it's just gonna be whoever has the most draft on the last lap, and hopefully that'll be me.
Well, you've got a little bit of experience there with the tour mods. Hopefully some of that will carry over for next week. Anyone you'd like to thank tonight, Kyle?
Yeah, I want to thank Kyle Adams for putting this on. You guys for the broadcast. Curse some shots, RKM sub shop, Terzak Racing, and everybody's watching back home.
Well, we expect to be seeing that 4th win very soon. Congratulations, Kyle.
Thank you.
That was Kyle Terzak, 3-time winner and season points leader, but just couldn't quite get it done here tonight, Sky. What did you think of this race? Because I thought this was the best of the season.
It definitely made a case for it there with that battle for the lead at the end. We saw a lot of great racing at the front between Terzak, Hassler, Peterson, even Jake Sylvia. All those guys who were up there going at it. It was full contact racing, a lot more beating and banging than we've seen in previous weeks, and it made for a really exciting one out there.
Yeah, I think so. You mentioned Sylvia bolted on those new tires, but just wasn't enough for him. And I continue to think about, we have got some real handy drivers here, because last season, Jake Sylvia had 7 wins, easily won the regular season championship and the overall season championship. But this year, Terzak, Hassler, now Jake Griffin, Cody Dempster, and others, Justin Brooks, have now come out of the gate ready to bring that fight. I think we're going to have some fights all season long.
Yeah, we've got some great drivers up there, not just for this week, but even looking ahead to next week as well. These guys who've been up front all season are going to stay up front, and they're going to keep racing into next week at New Hampshire.
Yeah, New Hampshire, week number 6, race number 6. Here again, 1 week from today at 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern. I live in Central Time, so I love to always say Central, but New Hampshire, a very, very, very different track from today, Sky.
Oh, for sure. We're going from the shortest track on the schedule to the longest track
1 mile,
on the schedule with New Hampshire. 1 mile in length, a lot higher speeds, a lot faster racetrack, and it's going to make for a whole different kind of action, I think. Some drafting going to come into play next week, as we heard during the interviews.
Yeah, Terzak mentioned that drafting there. It's the longest track we go to, but I think it actually still has less banking than we saw today at IRWINDALE Inner, so it's going to bode for an excellent race next weekend, but we'll have to wait to see you then, and I'm really excited for it. For Kyle Adams and Jake Sylvia at Misfit Productions, for Bradley Cooper at V-Speed, for Eddie Smith in production, and for my colleague in the booth, Sky Shrek, my name is Scott Shive, and we'll see you next week for race number 6 at New Hampshire.